Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Moonlit Stories. Today, I'll share a thrilling tale about a woman who wakes up inside a romance novel and unexpectedly becomes the wife of a wealthy young lord. She thought she was just a forgotten side character trying to survive, but her beauty, cleverness, and bold personality completely changed her fate, and even made a cold-hearted playboy fall deeply for her. Without further ado, let's begin our story.
I woke up inside a romance novel. Not as the heroine, not even the villain, just the ridiculously gorgeous background girl nobody was supposed to remember. The moment I opened my eyes, I found out my family had sold me to pay off their debts. My destination? The mansion of the richest, most spoiled young heir in town, as his concubine.
Great.
Lucky me. In the original story, Liam Leong was the classic second male lead, the hopeless rich guy who threw money, connections, and opportunities at the heroine while she chased someone else.
Me?
I wasn't even important enough to get a single chapter. But there was one tiny problem. The second he saw me on our so-called wedding night, he completely froze. My name is Ginger Jiang. One late-night binge-reading session later, I somehow woke up inside this novel. The original story was about a farm girl who built a business empire from nothing, met the crown prince, fell in love, and eventually became queen. An amazing story.
Just not mine.
Because before I could even figure out where I was, debt collectors showed up at my door. The girl whose body I inherited was also named Ginger Jiang. Her parents were poor tenant farmers working for the Liang family. They couldn't pay what they owed. So the estate manager made them an offer. Send your daughter to become the young master's concubine, and your debt disappears. We'll even pay you a generous bonus. The bonus? Enough to completely change a poor family's life. The young master, Liam Leong, had a terrible reputation. 20 years old, no career, no ambition, just a spoiled rich kid who spent every day throwing his weight around because his father held one of the highest positions in the kingdom. People avoided him like the plague. The original Ginger refused the marriage. In despair, she took her own life. And somehow, I got dropped into her place. Of course I wanted to run. Too bad my new parents care more about the money than me. They drugged my dinner. The next thing I knew, I woke up inside the bridal chamber. I cracked my eyes open just in time to hear a guy outside complaining. I already said I'm only marrying Lucy Liu. Why is Grandma forcing another woman on me? Carry her inside if you want. I won't even look at her. Lucy Liu, the heroine of this novel. Right now, she was probably busy growing miracle vegetables on her little farm and secretly supplying Liam's restaurant. As for me, according to the original plot, I should already be dead. No magical powers. No business genius. No plot armor. Still, since Liam was hopelessly obsessed with Lucy anyway, crashing in his mansion and enjoying free food for a while didn't sound like the worst plan. So instead of getting up, I rolled over and stayed in bed. The drug hadn't completely worn off, and my head still felt heavy. Outside, an older woman was trying to persuade him. "Young master, please. Just go in and meet her. Your grandmother only wants a grandchild. You don't have to fall in love with the girl. Just give her some face." The manager picked her himself. She's from a respectable family, sweet, kind, and unbelievably beautiful. Liam sighed. "Nanny, you know how I feel." A few moments later, the door slammed shut. Apparently, he'd been locked inside with me. Since I was only a concubine, there hadn't even been a real wedding. No guests. No celebration. Just a decorated room filled with red candles. And in the middle of all that festive scenery, there I was, sprawled across the bed. He stood by the door. We stared at each other. Neither of us spoke. The silence was painfully awkward. The moment I realized someone else was in the room, I shot upright. Liam was wearing bright red wedding robes.
Tall.
Handsome. Every inch the spoiled rich heir. But the instant he looked at me, he stopped moving. His eyes widened. His mouth actually fell open. He looked like his brain had completely crashed. Seriously? Was I that pretty? I stood on the bed, planted my hands on my hips, and glared down at him. "What are you staring at?" In the novel, he treated the heroine like a queen. Everyone else, not so much. If I really became his concubine, I'd probably spend the rest of my life miserable. No thanks. He finally snapped back to reality. His ears turned bright red. Why you're the girl my mother picked for me? His voice was surprisingly nice. Too bad, he kept staring at me like that. Sure, this body was gorgeous. That's exactly why I ended up here. But that didn't mean he got to treat me like some prize. Absolutely not. I threw both hands up. Nope, not happening. I didn't agree to any of this. I was drugged and brought here against my will. So, don't even think about touching me. If you try anything, I'll report your family. Instead of getting angry, he laughed. Slowly, he looked me up and down. You really think the Liang estate is a place people can walk into and walk out of whenever they want? My father practically writes the law around here. Then he stepped a little closer. So, a teasing smile spread across his face. Tell me your name. And how old are you? The way he asked, he sounded less like a groom, and more like a smooth-talking con artist who thought every girl would fall for his charm. Liam froze after I slapped him. Then he puffed out his cheeks and let out a cold laugh. You actually hit me? He grabbed my wrist and tried to pull me off the bed. Big mistake. I kicked him square in the chest. He flew backward and landed on the floor. He stared at me in shock. You, how dare you hit me? I'm your husband. Husband. I shot back. Weren't you just outside saying you wouldn't even touch me? He suddenly looked embarrassed. I changed my mind, okay? I hadn't seen you yet. If I had, I would have said something very different. He stood up and reached for my hand. You hit me pretty hard. Did you hurt your hand?
Wait.
I slapped him. I kicked him. And he was worried about my hand? That was way scarier than getting sold into this marriage. Don't tell me he fell for me at first sight? In the original story, Liam was hopeless once he liked someone. He gave everything without holding back. So I decided to test a theory. I slapped his other cheek. Smack. He stood there completely stunned, his eyes filled with disbelief. You hit me again? I like things balanced, I said. One red cheek looked weird. Then I shrugged.
See?
I'm not sweet. I lose my temper. I'd make a terrible wife. So, why don't you just send me home? Instead of getting angry, he jumped to his feet. I braced myself for a fight. Instead, he looked at me with complete sincerity. Once you're part of this family, you're family. I'm not sending you away just because you're outspoken. I like that you're honest. From now on, this courtyard is yours. You make the rules. Was this guy serious? Then it hit me. In the original story, he started liking Lucy after she knocked him over with a carrying pole. Did he actually have a thing for strong women? Maybe I'd been using the wrong strategy. I changed tactics instantly. My shoulders slumped. I covered my face with a handkerchief. Tears filled my eyes. I'm sorry. I was scared. I heard you had a terrible reputation. I panicked. I know I was wrong. I finally figured it out. Liam liked Lucy because she was confident, independent, and unlike anyone else. So if I acted ordinary, quiet, boring, he'd lose interest. Too bad. This face ruined the plan. The moment he saw me crying, he completely panicked. Please don't cry. He hurried over and gently wiped away my tears with his sleeve. Did I scare you? My reputation isn't great, but I never hurt women. You're so beautiful. Why would I ever be mean to you? You slapped me twice and kicked me, and I didn't even complain. He gently held my face. Don't cry anymore. Your eyes are too pretty for tears. Oh no, he was actually sweet. So the helpless act didn't work either. Fine. Time for plan C. Jealousy. I slapped his hand away. Don't touch me. I heard everything you said outside. You said Lucy was the only woman you'd ever marry. So what's all this now? I may be poor, but I still have my pride. I'm not sharing a husband. If you want me to stay, make me your only wife. And cut ties with Lucy. Otherwise, forget it.
Perfect.
Now I was jealous, stubborn, unreasonable. Exactly the kind of woman he'd get tired of. He'd throw me out and I'd finally be free. Except, he rushed over and hugged me instead. Don't be upset. Promise me you won't hurt yourself. I'll talk to my mother tomorrow. I'll make things right. He hesitated. The only problem is, Lucy supplies fresh produce to our restaurant. If we end the partnership overnight, we'll lose a lot of money.
Got you.
I pushed him away. So, what's more important? Money or me? You just don't want to let her go.
He paused.
Then took a deep breath. Fine. I'll do whatever you want. Tomorrow I'll tell Lucy we won't need her supplies anymore.
Wait.
He actually agreed? That wasn't supposed to happen. I was trying to get kicked out. I almost cried for real. Seeing my tears, Liam became even more anxious. Why are you crying again? I looked straight at him. A minute ago you cared so much about Lucy. Now you're ready to cut her off because of one thing I said. That doesn't prove you care about me. It just proves you were dazzled by my face. What happens when someone prettier comes along? You'll do the same thing to me. Before he could answer, I shoved him out of the room. Get out. I don't want to hear another word.
Bang.
I slammed the door shut. That was close. If I didn't already know how this story was supposed to go, I might have actually believed him. That night, I slept in the bedroom. Liam slept in the outer room. We stayed out of each other's way. At dawn, someone shook me awake. Wifey, wake up. The housekeeper will be here soon to help you get ready. I shot my eyes open. Liam was standing right beside my bed. He had somehow gotten inside. I jumped. What? Weren't you outside? How did you get in? He gave me a helpless look. You really think a door can stop me? I only stayed outside last night because you looked exhausted. Listen. You can argue with me all you want, but my grandmother is much stricter. When the housekeeper comes, tell her I made you sleep outside. Just play along, okay?
Wait.
Was he covering for me? I narrowed my eyes. Why are you helping me? He looked away a little shy. Because you're my wife. Of course I'll protect you. And don't ever talk about going back home. Your parents already spent the money they got for marrying you off. They used it to arrange your brother's wedding. They're not worth your tears. The second I heard that, I exploded. What? I've barely been gone a day, and they're already spending the money? Back home, they couldn't even afford a decent meal. Now they suddenly had money to celebrate? The real Ginger had already lost everything because of them. They got paid because of me. That money belonged to me. I grabbed Liam by the collar. So, you keep calling yourself my husband, right? And you say you care about me? Then help me get my money back. I was so close our faces were almost touching. His face turned bright red. He froze for a few seconds before answering. Of course. Just tell me who wronged you. I'll handle it. So early that morning, one day after my wedding, I climbed into a carriage with my brand new husband and a group of his guards. We were going to my parents' house to collect a debt. If you're collecting money, the earlier the better. I kept urging the driver to go faster. If we were late, they might spend every last dollar. Not happening. On the way through the market, Liam bought me 2 meat buns. This poor body hadn't eaten a real meal in forever. I'd been drugged, then survived on watery vegetable soup. I was starving. The second the buns landed in my hands, I devoured half of one in a single bite. A few chews later, I noticed Liam staring at me. My face warmed. Maybe he'd never seen a girl eat like this. Then I remembered. He only wanted me because I was pretty. Maybe watching me eat would ruin the illusion. I glared at him. What are you looking at? He smiled. I'm looking at my beautiful wife. You even make eating look adorable. Then he quickly poured me a cup of water. Slow down. You'll choke. His kindness made me feel a tiny bit guilty. Only for a second. Then I actually choked. I coughed so hard I couldn't breathe. Liam immediately rushed over. He gently patted my back.
Easy.
Drink some water. He held the cup while I drank. After a long moment, I finally caught my breath. That's when I realized half my body was leaning against him. One arm was around my waist. Any guilt I had disappeared. I grabbed his hand and twisted it away. Excuse me? Getting a little too comfortable? He cleared his throat. I was helping. I'd never take advantage of you. Really? Because that smile on his face told a very different story. He looked way too happy. I didn't like that. I shoved the leftover bun back into his hands and moved to the far corner of the carriage. No more touching. Liam pouted, but he stayed where he was. He looked oddly heartbroken. Wifey. I turned away. Wifey, talk to me. I closed my eyes. The next second, his voice was right beside my ear. I opened my eyes. He had somehow moved next to me again. He was staring at me. What now? He gently caught my hand and placed it against his own face. Please don't ignore me. When you stop talking, I get nervous. If it helps, you can slap me. That was a first. I'd never heard anyone ask for that. I quickly pulled my hand back. Let go. I don't hit softly. I know. He smiled. But if you don't, I'll be the one who feels bad. I keep thinking, you're going to leave me. You're right. Actually, that's exactly the plan. Once I got my money back from the Jiang family, I'd disappear. No marriage papers had been officially registered yet. If I left now, he'd never find me. Of course, I couldn't say that out loud. Otherwise, he'd never take me there. So I lightly tapped his arm. You're so annoying. I'm not talking to you. Then I turned away again. After hours on the road, the carriage finally reached Jiang Village. And the timing couldn't have been better. A matchmaker had just arrived at my parents' house with a young woman to meet my second brother. As soon as our carriage rolled into the village, the neighbors rushed to my parents' house. Your daughter is back. And she brought her husband. Someone quickly corrected them. Husband? She's only a concubine. The first woman frowned. A concubine? No way. Look at that carriage. She looks more like the lady of the house. My parents cared a lot about appearances. They hurried outside to greet us. My mother was wearing brand new clothes. She even had a silver hairpin. My father and both of my brothers were dressed up too. The whole family looked refreshed. The moment she saw me, my mother grabbed my hand with a big smile. You're back already? Why so soon? Usually you'd visit after a few days. She acted as if she'd forgotten everything. Forgotten how they forced their own daughter into this marriage. Forgotten they had drugged me and sent me away. I pulled my hand back, then glanced at the matchmaker and the young woman standing nearby. I smiled coldly. Oh, looking for a wife for my brother? My mother nodded happily. For your second brother. We already met someone for your oldest brother this morning. Liam chuckled. Looks like we came late. This is already round 2. Both of my brothers looked at Liam with grateful smiles. Thanks to you and our sister's marriage. We finally have a chance to get married too. We'll call you brother-in-law from now on. Before they could finish, smack, smack. I slapped both of them. They froze. I looked at my own hand. Wow. Your faces are so thick they made my hand hurt. My hands weren't hurt at all. Years of farm work had left them stronger than they looked. But Liam believed me. He hurried over and gently held my hand. Oh no, you shouldn't have done that yourself. You tell me next time. I'll handle it. Then, smack, smack. He slapped both of my brothers too. Now my family finally realized I wasn't here for a friendly visit. I was here to settle scores. The bigger surprise? Liam was completely on my side. My parents immediately looked nervous. Young Master Liam, did our daughter do something wrong? Liam glared at them. My wife has done nothing wrong. You are the ones with a problem. Everyone froze. My father forced a smile. What do you mean? Liam folded his arms. Your family couldn't even afford food. So, where did the money come from for 2 weddings? My father glanced awkwardly at the matchmaker. We saved a little over the years.
Liam laughed.
Really? If you had savings, why couldn't you pay your rent? Were you planning to fool my family too? My father's face turned pale. He quickly changed his tone. We're family now. Let's not make a scene. You already know. That money came from our daughter's wedding. Liam grabbed him by the collar. Exactly. If it was her wedding money, why doesn't she have it? My wife came to my house with almost nothing. Meanwhile, you've got new clothes. You're arranging new marriages. You should be ashamed. I blinked.
Wow.
He was surprisingly good at this. No wonder everyone in the capital feared him. He'd already said everything I wanted to say.
I didn't even have to try.
So I lowered my head and put on my best pitiful face. Honey, please don't argue. I've always known. Girls like me are expected to accept whatever happens. Liam's father was one of the most powerful officials in the kingdom. That meant Liam could get away with almost anything. Even noble families avoided crossing him. The matchmaker saw the situation and immediately backed away. I'll discuss this marriage another day. She grabbed the young woman and disappeared without looking back. My second brother looked ready to cry. Little sister, what are you doing? I finally met someone I liked. You and young Master Liam ruined everything. Why? I almost laughed.
Why?
Because I wasn't here to help them. I looked at him with teary eyes. I just got married yesterday. And today you're already looking for wives. I guess I stayed in this house too long. I must have delayed both of your happy lives. Neither brother could meet my eyes. Without selling me, neither of them could have afforded marriage. My oldest brother finally sighed. Then tell us. Why did you really come back today? I smiled faintly. What do you mean? I simply came home with my husband to visit the family. Don't mind me. I'm just the married daughter who no longer matters. You all have new clothes. You'll soon have new daughters-in-law. You'll live well from now on. None of that has anything to do with me. Liam looked at me with concern.
Don't be sad.
I'll make this right. My father stared at us for a long moment. Then something finally clicked. So, you're upset because we didn't prepare enough for your marriage. Is that it? Seriously? Not enough. There wasn't any dowry at all. My father looked at me, then at Liam. He suddenly slapped his thigh. You're right. We should have prepared gold bracelets for our daughter. He forced out a smile. So, how much do you think is appropriate? Well, looks like he was finally ready to pay. Liam glanced at me. We instantly understood each other. He looked back at my father. What do you think? My father laughed awkwardly. Maybe around $300 should do. Before he could finish, Liam cut him off. That's it. Our family owns jewelry stores. I know what good jewelry costs. For my wife, that wouldn't even be close. Here's my price. A pair of the finest gold bracelets. And another $1,500 in cash. So, she always has money of her own. My father almost fainted. $1,500? You want every penny back? My daughter can't marry into your family for free. Liam's face darkened. Parents should prepare something for their daughter. Everything I'm asking for belongs to her. I don't want a single dollar. Do you really think my family needs your money? Or, do daughters stop being family after they get married? If that's what you believe, then write it down. From today on, don't ever claim to be her family again. My parents instantly panicked. Please don't be angry. She's still our daughter. My mother even reached for Liam's sleeve.
He stepped back.
Then explain yourselves. My father sighed. It's not that we don't care. We already spent the money. We bought food. We paid old debts. We bought new clothes. And this morning, we even paid a deposit for our eldest son's marriage. That made my blood boil. Liam had heard enough. How much is left? My father looked at my mother. She wiped away fake tears and walked into the house. I followed her. The second she noticed me, her face dropped. Are you blaming us? I smiled sweetly. What do you mean? Aren't we getting my dowry ready? You wanted me to marry into such a powerful family. Surely you don't want me to be embarrassed. She almost rolled her eyes. But she stayed quiet. She reached under the bed, pulled out a clay jar, and took out the money. How did I know where it was? Simple. I'd already checked. Not a single coin was left behind. She wrapped the money in a cloth and handed it to Liam. He weighed it in his hand. His face darkened again. That's all. This isn't even enough for one pair of bracelets. Seriously? They spent that much in one day. They burned through almost half the money without blinking. My mother burst into tears. That's everything. Our daughter saw it herself. We're not hiding anything. My oldest brother hurried over. Little sister, brother-in-law, you can't take it all. I've already promised to marry someone. I've paid part of the gift already. If the marriage falls through, I'll lose both the money and the bride. Originally, I planned to leave them a little cash. After hearing that, I wanted every last dollar. I looked at my brother with concern. So, how much more do you need? His eyes lit up. Maybe 300. No, 600. I frowned. If that's true, I won't even have enough for one bracelet.
That was all I said.
But my eyes instantly turned red. I looked completely heartbroken. Liam couldn't stand it. He pointed at my brother. Then earn your own money. Using your sister's wedding money isn't something to be proud of. And you're supposed to be her brother? You should be ashamed. He grabbed my hand. Come on. We're leaving. I sniffled. Oh, okay. He helped me into the carriage. I cried the whole way. The moment the curtains closed, my tears vanished. I happily opened the cloth bundle. Money. So much money. This gold piece is so cute. And this little one. It's tiny but adorable. Oh no. This silver coin is all scratched up. You've had a hard life. Don't worry. I'll take good care of you.
Yep.
I loved money. Way more than I wanted to admit. I looked at Liam. Honey, can we skip the gold bracelets? I'd rather keep the cash. Liam laughed so hard he almost rolled off the seat. You're too adorable. I promised you those bracelets. You'll get them, but not with your money. My eyes lit up. So, I get the bracelets. And I keep the cash? He smiled and leaned closer. Your husband owns plenty of businesses. A pair of bracelets is nothing. My family has several jewelry stores. You can pick anything you like. I'll pay. Back at my parents' house, I already thought he looked pretty handsome.
Now?
He practically sparkled. He looked like a walking treasure chest. Still, I had standards. When he reached over to hug me, smack. I slapped his hand away again. He rubbed his hand and laughed. Still fiery. I like that. Liam really took me to his jewelry stores. And I didn't hold back. I packed up several pounds of jewelry.
Yes. You heard that right.
Several pounds. The shopkeeper and workers were completely stunned. Master this. Liam sat there calmly, drinking tea. When he saw the shopkeeper hesitating, he raised his eyebrows. My wife likes them. Do you have a problem with that? The shopkeeper wiped away his sweat. Of course not, master. It's just, if madam takes things like this every day, our store might have to close for a while. Our craftsmen need time to make these pieces. Liam thought about it. Then he turned to me. Wife, this store's designs are a little old-fashioned. Take fewer things here. I'll take you to the silk shop and the jewelry market. They have newer styles. Did you hear that? He didn't say bye. He said take. Every word he said sounded like music to my ears. So I put down the pile of jewelry. I only chose a pair of beautiful gold bracelets. Then I followed him to other stores. This story is produced exclusively by the YouTube channel Moonlit Stories. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. The Liang family was unbelievably wealthy. They owned businesses everywhere. I took a little from each place. By the end of the day, a whole carriage was filled. And the most surprising thing? Liam might act like a spoiled rich guy, but he was actually brilliant at business. With his background, he could have easily been a useless playboy. But he wasn't. I was impressed. And he was so good at talking. Every time I looked at something and liked it, he never laughed at me. Instead, he asked, "Do you want more?" How was I supposed to resist that? I looked at him shyly. Don't be too nice to me. I don't have much self-control. Liam paused. Then he leaned closer and gently touched my ear. My wife is so cute. I reacted without thinking. I grabbed his finger and twisted it slightly. The next second, a terrible scream came from Liam. I immediately panicked. Are you okay? I didn't mean to. I just got nervous. His face was twisted in pain, but he still comforted me. It's fine. Your husband is strong. If you want to hit me, go ahead. How could someone be this nice? I felt my face getting hot. When we returned to the Liang mansion, everyone was already worried. The moment the housekeeper saw us, she hurried over. Oh my goodness, young master. You left early this morning. Why are you only coming back now? Madam has been waiting all day for you to pay respects. Please be careful with your words later. Then she looked me up and down. She gave me a cold stare, like I was some troublemaker who had corrupted their young master. Liam noticed. Without warning, he grabbed the back of my collar and pushed me into the room. Mother, what kind of concubine did you choose for me? She's stubborn. She cries all the time. She even ran back to her parents' house. I had to personally bring her back. I gave her jewelry. I tried to comfort her. Nothing worked. If she wasn't pretty, I would have already sent her away. I froze. What was he doing? The old lady, who originally wanted to teach me a lesson, was shocked. She looked at me. I stood beside Liam with a hurt expression. She immediately understood. She turned to him angrily. I arranged this marriage to take care of you, not for you to bully her. Liam acted arrogant. He started listing my flaws. She's from a small family. She has no education. She doesn't understand anything. She's completely different from Lucy. Maybe I should just send her back. The moment he said that, his mother's anger exploded. Enough. With your personality, no decent girl would want you. I don't care what you think. Ginger stays, whether you like it or not. And stop mentioning Lucy. I will never allow that woman into this family. Then she gently held my hand. My child, you married such a troublesome man. You must have suffered. But since you're already his wife, live peacefully with him. Don't run away again. I know you're a good girl. My son isn't truly bad. He's just too spoiled. Win his heart. Build a happy family together. Then she took off a beautiful jade bracelet from her wrist and placed it on my hand. A jade bracelet like this would be worth a fortune in my old world. And she just gave it to me? My eyes instantly filled with emotion. Madam, She smiled. Don't call me madam. Call me mother, like my son does. I whispered, Mother. The Liang family had many rules. Originally, after my little performance that day, I probably would have been kicked out. But Liam changed everything. His mother saw that he wasn't interested in me at first, and that he still cared about Lucy. So she refused to let me leave. She treated me even better. All because she wanted me to keep Liam away from Lucy. Poor woman. She had no idea. Her own son had already changed his heart. The moment we returned to our room, Liam hugged me. Wife, I'm sorry. What I said earlier was only to trick my mother. If she got angry, she might have sent you away. My heart only has you. I can't lose you. He was so tall that when I hugged him, my feet almost left the ground. Then he leaned closer. My face instantly turned red. What are you doing? I don't care about you.
Liam laughed.
How can you not care about me? I'm your husband. About Lucy. I'll tell her tomorrow not to supply our restaurant anymore.
No.
That wouldn't work. I only said those things before because I wanted him to dislike me. I never wanted to ruin the heroine's business. I quickly stopped him. No. I heard about Lucy. She's the oldest daughter in her family. She has many people depending on her. Her life isn't easy. If you suddenly end the business deal, people will say you're unreliable. But since she's a woman and you're doing business together, people may gossip. So, why don't I handle it instead? Liam's eyes lit up. Really? I nodded quickly. Of course. Husband, I see how hard you work managing the businesses. I feel sorry for you. Why don't you let me help with the restaurant? That way, I can share your burden. And I won't be bored at home. My little plan was practically written all over my face. But somehow, Liam happily agreed. The next day, he took me straight to the restaurant. When the housekeeper and his mother asked where we were going, Liam immediately acted fierce. How can a woman of the Liang family not know business? I'll take her out to learn. Mother, Nanny, don't worry about it. I immediately played along. Poor me. His mother looked heartbroken. My poor child. Someone prepare some nourishing food. They need to eat when they come back. At Liang Zhao's restaurant, I finally met the legendary girl, Lucy Liu. Lucy was around the same age as the original Ginger. She dressed like a village girl, but everything about her was neat and confident. Beside her stood a handsome young boy. He looked about 12 years old. I knew who he was. Her younger brother, Luke. In the future, he would become a famous scholar and bring honor to their family. After checking the vegetables she delivered, the manager brought her in to collect her payment. The moment Lucy saw me, she froze. The manager quickly introduced me. This is our master's new wife. Please show respect. New wife. Did Liam get married? The manager knew about Lucy and Liam's past. He immediately interrupted. Don't ask unnecessary questions. Take your payment and leave. I smiled. Relax. Then I looked at Lucy. So, you're Miss Lucy? You really are capable and impressive. No wonder my husband always talks about you. Unlike me. I lowered my eyes and looked like I was about to cry. Lucy quickly explained. Please don't misunderstand. Mr. Liang and I only have a business relationship. It's nothing like the rumors say. I nodded. I believe you. You seem like an honest person. I checked your vegetables. They really are better than everyone else's. Winter is coming. Can you still supply enough? My husband says I know nothing about business. He even said if I can't manage this restaurant, he'll send me back to my parents. So, I'll increase your payment by 30%. From now on, only supply our restaurant. How about it? Lucy's eyes instantly lit up. You mean, you want exclusive rights? I pretended to look confused. I don't know much about business. I just think your vegetables taste better. If customers can only eat them here, maybe the restaurant will become more popular. Lucy's vegetables were grown with her special spring water. They grew faster, stayed fresh longer, and were healthier. Of course, I wanted all of them. Lucy was tempted. Then her brother spoke. Miss Ginger. My sister raised some rabbits last year. Our family kept feeding them, but they multiplied so quickly. Now we have nearly 1,000. Could you help us sell them? I was shocked. Wait, she already started farming? I immediately said, the weather is getting colder. People love warm food during winter. Rabbit stew sounds perfect. Send 10 rabbits first. Let's test the market. Lucy signed the exclusive vegetable contract. She received a large advance payment. Then she sold me 10 rabbits. The way she looked at me completely changed. She stopped calling me madam. Now she called me Sister Ginger. With Lucy's exclusive vegetables, the restaurant business improved quickly. To help sell all those rabbits, Lucy created new recipes. Roasted rabbit, spicy rabbit dishes, cold rabbit snacks. That winter, we made a fortune. But when Lady Liang saw me leaving home every day to manage the restaurant, she wasn't happy. What kind of wife runs outside every day? What will people say? I immediately brought the account books to Liam. I lowered my head and acted pitiful. Husband, the restaurant has improved a little. I wonder if you're satisfied. Liam looked through the numbers. The profits had doubled under my management. A smile appeared in his eyes, but his voice remained cold. That's all. You're already proud? Too weak. Lady Liang couldn't stand hearing him criticize me. Enough. The manager already reported to me. The restaurant's income has doubled since Ginger took over. She's only been there a short time. She's done very well. If you keep criticizing her, I'll punish you. Liam snorted. You only dare because Mother likes you. Come here. I gave Lady Liang a grateful look, then quickly followed Liam. The moment we entered the room, he turned around. His expression completely changed. He trapped me between him and the door. Wife, do you know what I've done for you? I act like the bad guy every day. Everyone outside says I bully my wife. They even call me a terrible husband. My reputation is ruined because of you. You need to make it up to me. I wrapped my arms around his neck. Standing on my toes, I looked into his eyes.
Ah,
My poor husband. So, what kind of compensation does my little Liam want? He smiled, then picked me up and carried me inside. Your punishment. You can't sleep early tonight. Lucy earned some money from selling vegetables. Then she wanted to start another business. She came to me and asked, "Can I sell my desserts in your restaurant?" The moment I heard that, I knew exactly what she wanted to make. Her special pastries. In the future, they would become the most popular desserts in the capital. Scholars, nobles, and wealthy families would all fight to buy them. Even the royal family would love them. Of course, the one who would eventually bring them into the palace was her destined prince. After tasting her samples, I immediately agreed. I remember Liang family owns a dessert shop in the East District. The business is just average. Come with me. If you like the place, use it as your first shop. I'll invest, but just like before, your desserts can only be sold through our businesses. Exclusive supply. Deal. Lucy happily agreed. And once again, we made a fortune. As expected from the heroine of a farming story, Lucy was always creating something new. Later, she opened clothing shops, jewelry stores, beauty shops. I invested in everything. We supported each other. Slowly, we became best friends. Lucy worried that Liam might treat me badly. She even told me, "Sister Ginger, come with me. I promise I won't let you suffer." The moment Liam heard that, he rushed in. "Lucy, stop trying to steal my wife." Her destined prince also quickly carried her away. "Brother Liang, calm down. Lucy was just joking." I leaned against Liam's arms, feeling extremely proud. Then I discovered something. The heroine was also obsessed with beautiful things. Every dress she designed, every piece of jewelry she created, every new beauty product she invented. She always let me try them first. She kept saying, "You're too beautiful. I want to stay close to you." Unfortunately, I already had Liam, and honestly, he gave me too much. We still needed to use Liam's money to build our own business empire. Later, Lucy and I worked together. We opened countless shops and earned unimaginable wealth. But success always attracts jealousy. Some people tried to cause trouble. Too bad. I had Liam. Lucy had the prince. Anyone who wanted to mess with us was asking for trouble. All those enemies were defeated. Eventually, Lucy's true identity as the prince's beloved was revealed. She returned to the palace and became the crown princess. As for me, after giving birth to a child, I became the official wife of the Liang family. Lucy and I became sisters. Liam and the prince became brothers-in-law. The prince trusted Liam and gave him important positions. Step by step, Liam rose through the ranks. Eventually, he became the Minister of Revenue. Later, when the prince became emperor, Liam reached an even higher position. Liam's father was also smart. He controlled the military. His son controlled finances. And his daughter-in-law was close friends with the empress while managing royal businesses. Their family had become too powerful, so he chose to retire early. He gave up his position and went home to enjoy family life. The emperor was very pleased with his wisdom and trusted Liam even more. In the end, I relied on Lucy. Liam relied on the prince. Together, we helped them solve countless problems. The emperor was so happy that he granted Liam a noble title. Before I was even 20, I received my own royal honor. Lady Liang proudly told everyone, "My daughter-in-law brought prosperity to our family." Liam must have been blessed for many lifetimes to marry her. As for my parents and my two brothers, Liam had already arranged people to keep them away. They would never get another chance to take advantage of me.
Thank you for joining me today on Moonlit Stories. What I love most about this story is how Ginger and Liam's relationship slowly changes in the most unexpected way. At first, she only sees him as a dangerous character from the novel, someone she must avoid to protect herself. But Liam's actions prove that behind his arrogant attitude is a man who truly cares, protects her, and chooses her without hesitation. Their love isn't built on a perfect first meeting, but on countless little moments of trust, teasing, and understanding. Watching them turn from strangers into partners who support each other is what makes this story so special. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. This is Moonlit Stories, and I'll see you again in our next story. Goodbye.